This morning, Lyft expanding into Europe, buying taxi-hailing app FreeNow for just under $200 million. It's an all-cash deal. The acquisition expected to close in the second half of the year, and the combined entity will serve more than 50 million annual riders. Joining us right now is Lyft CEO David Risher, who you should tell the audience how you got here, since we're talking about different types of apps, right?
I came on a city bike. We run the city bike program.
And people don't always know that the city bike program is a Lyft program.
That's exactly right. Yeah, we do a couple 100,000 rides every day in the summer, and so I recommend get out there, but stay off the sidewalk.
Okay, I want to get into where the consumer really is right now, but I want to just ask you about this deal real quick.
Sure.
How does this change the company, and how does it change in the context of being a more international company? Because this has mostly been a domestically focused company before.
That's right. Yeah, since the early days, we've been focused on the U.S. and Canada. But look, we're in a great position right now. So we have never picked riders up faster. Drivers have never earned more on the platform. We're a profitable company. We're generating hundreds of millions of dollars of cash. And now with joining forces with FreeNow, which is an awesome company with an awesome team, I hope you guys are listening, we get to double the market size and go global.
So, but I would say up until now, I would ask you about how Uber, competitively, how Uber was international and could do all of these other things. And you would say it was a competitive advantage to being focused on this U.S. domestic market. And this was such a big market, and there was such a big opportunity. Who needs the rest of the world?
Right.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but that was the argument that was being made.
Yes.
So something's changed.
Well, it was an excellent argument at the time. We weren't ready. Ready, right? So when I joined, so I've been in the job, this is actually, tomorrow will be my 2-year anniversary, which is kind of fun. And when I started, unfortunately, we were losing share, we were losing money, we weren't doing so great for riders or drivers. Now, as I say, so we pick you up about a minute faster than we picked you up. Driver cancellation down to less than 5%. Drivers are making billions of dollars on the platform, and on and on and on. And we're expanding. By the way, our Canada operation has doubled this year over last year. So looking at the strong service levels, looking at the fact that internationally within Canada we're doing quite well, now we said, you know what, now is the time.
Okay, let's talk about the consumer.
Yeah.
What you're seeing here, by the way, what you're seeing in Canada, and how this all plays out over time. But what are you feeling from the consumer?
It's really interesting. So Lyft serves about 2 million people a day. We do about 2 million rides a day. So that gives us enough data, I think, to get a pretty good sense of what's going on. And at least at the day-to-day level, and remember, the average ride on Lyft is $20. So we're not talking about a big, sort of high-ticket item, sort of thing. But we're actually seeing strength. Interestingly enough, commute continues to be strong, but that's actually number 2. Number 1, and this will be sort of interesting, is actually what we call it's sort of the everything else category. It's people shopping, it's people going to the doctors. So I don't know. At least on we've never had more drivers than we've had before. So at least on the sort of on the ground level, we're feeling strength.
We just had Scott Kirby on the broadcast.
Yeah.
What about rides to the airport?
So I will say rides to the airport are a little light. Just a little light. Yeah, but they're still growing faster than TSA. So it's this interesting thing. TSA is growing at whatever it is. I don't know what the actual number is. But we are growing faster than that. So I think what's happening is people are traveling. Maybe they're taking lifts a little bit more than they used to. I'm not sure exactly why that would be. But again, we're talking about relatively small differences. I wouldn't use us as a sort of barometer of the U.S. economy for, at least when it comes to that sort of travel.
I have a brand question in the context of tariffs. Now that you're going global, do you anticipate trying to make the Lyft brand an American brand? Do you say to yourself, we're going to have to be super local so that wherever you're doing business in whatever country you're going to do business in the future, it feels like a local community business that has nothing to do with America? And I ask, given the tariffs and given the sort of protectionist state that we seem to be moving towards.
Here's what I say about that. So first of all, our focus with FreeNow is going to be to operate locally. So FreeNow is the biggest a taxi-first service in all of Europe. And taxis, by the way, just as a quick aside, when you think taxis, maybe you're thinking New York City taxis. No, this is London black cab. This is a sort of elevated experience type of thing. So it's got a great local brand. It's got great local service. We'll operate, in exactly that way for the time being. Over time,
using the FreeNow brand or the Lyft brand.
So for sure, using the FreeNow brand now,
okay.
No question. Now, but over time, that's a short-term thing. Over time, brands tend to sort of go global over time. And I'm a U.S. advocate. I'll still bet on the U.S. Long term. But I understand the short term. I think we'll operate separately. But that's not really a tariff issue. That just makes sense from the.
What about a currency issue? So all of a sudden you will be exposed to the power or lack of power of the U.S. dollar versus these other currencies.
Yeah. Again, I mean, I'm still, I'm just quoting Warren Buffett here. Don't bet against the U.S. You know what I mean? So we will have some currency exposure. It's relatively small. FreeNow does about $1 billion in bookings. We do about $16 billion in bookings. So relatively small on the sort of balance sheet side of things. But at the end of the day, this makes us a global company, which is super exciting.
Okay, so now that you've gone from domestic to global, and in the past you said you wanted to be domestic, so now you're global. And in the past I've said, do you need to do something to get into the eat business, for example, that Uber's also in? And you would say, no, we need to be concentrated, we need to be focused, we'll do partnerships with other people and whatnot, but we're not going to do it ourselves. Would we be shocked if you came on the set in 18 months from now and said, you know what, actually, food business, not so bad. We like to be in it.
Look at Andrew trying to hold me to past statements. So irritating the way journalists do that. No, seriously, we're very focused on rideshare and bike share for sure. You never say never, right? But our partnership with DoorDash is super strong. And actually, this acquisition of FreeNow allows us to take partnerships like that, which until now have been domestic. DoorDash operates worldwide. For us to actually expand with them over time, if that makes sense to both of us worldwide. So, no, I am a big focus guy. I understand your point about that going global might look the opposite, but this allows us to take what we're doing so well in the U.S. and partner with a great company and do it elsewhere.
Okay, final consumer news you can use question. It seems like, because I'm a Lyft a user, and I'm an Uber user. I arbitrage and use the cabs. I do everything.
Polyamorous, I think, is the word.
And I like to test out all the different products.
Polyamorous.
I mean, it's just a word I don't know why it cropped up when I was just looking at this.
You have to be in Utah for that, dude. What the hell is And I don't think it's legal anymore.
It seems
Why did we even bring it up?
It seems like the prices are going up again. So what's happened to the competition?
So that's actually not what we're saying.
Okay.
We're saying no. So look, prices on average, first of all, prices are pretty low. Let me actually just start with that. So if you look 5 or 10 years ago, of course, it's higher than that. But if you look over the last year, they tend to sort of go like this. Insurance rates kind of come, and so that kind of moves us up a little bit. We actually had a lot of price competition with the other guys at the end of last year, still through the first quarter. But no, I would say our pricing environment. Look, our pricing strategy is to be reliable and competitive. And so if the other guys move prices, we sometimes do, and vice versa. But roughly speaking, I wouldn't say it's a big price action right now.
Are you not noticing this? I'm noticing.
What
do you
guys see? But what I noticed too on the app is that it'll say, coming in and out of New York City, it'll say this is because, New York City.
Well, there's that, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I didn't know if that was an effort of kind of saying, we know the prices. Everyone complains that it's so much more expensive than it used to be.
In the early days, this industry was sort of subsidized by VC. But over the last couple of years, I would still say it's actually a pretty affordable option. And a lot of people, as I say, people use this 2 million times a day. And while, folks have all sorts of feedback that they send me on different service levels and such, pricing generally doesn't tend to be a big one.
David, we want to thank you. We also want to thank you for biking here on your own. We do offer a car service, usually to our guests. Maybe we need to offer Lyft or Uber. We don't do that.
You do need to offer Lyft, and that's exactly right. If I can leave you with one message, it is please take a Lyft and let us know how we can help provide rides for all your guests. Happy to do it.